Oh, man. I gotta get a coffee for this one. How's Cody's story coming along? Is it in the process of being finished? I gotta get a coffee for this one. You gotta be kidding me. If you didn't see Monday Night Raw last night, you came to the right place because we gotta talk about it. This is the review for this show. It was the post-Royal Rumble Monday Night Raw for 129-24. And wait till you hear what they're doing with Cody Rhodes. You're not even going to believe this. And WWE, as much as we have fun with them, and we call out some of their bonker decision making, they got some smart people there. They knew that if they just give one college attaboy heartfelt promo, they could flip a good amount of fans into actually thinking that this is good. I can't even, guys. All I'm going to tell you, I don't even know if I should give more out in this cold open teaser or just wait until we get to the segment in the review. No, it's a cold open teaser for a reason. We're going to wait till we get to that segment in this review when we are going to talk Cody Rhodes and this story that he no longer has the desire to fill, or not the desire that a lot of people thought he had. It's like one of those books with two different endings, and you get to pick your own end of the book, right? He thought he was set on this one, and now he's like, well, this one is pretty interesting now. Because Sethington cut a promo, and in 4 minutes, a lot of fans were like, all right, I'm good if they want to switch it. BC, everything Seth said was true, man. Of course it was. Every word of it. You know how we know? Because every fan has been saying that since the inception of that title that Seth wears. We've been saying it even beforehand with Roman Reigns, everything he said about Roman. We've been saying that. Of course what Seth said was true. That doesn't mean you have Cody Rhodes go out there on national TV after laying down next to a rubber chicken last year and talk about this damn story for a year. And now this dude's like, well, I don't know which title I want now. I'll think about it. From one promo. Now the company's not just confused as to what to do with Cody at Mania. They had Cody Rhodes out there confused. This is what it will be. See, it's just a swerve. It's just a little bit of fun. He's gonna pick Roman, man. You're not understanding. This is why it's not fun for so many of us. Waiting another year to see what we should have gotten last year, first and foremost, because nothing Cody did this year would make us go, whoa, he's went through enough struggle and adversity. A literal meaningless feud with Brock that never had a purpose through the summer, and then 70 matches with the Judgment Day. And that's enough for everybody to go, okay, now we're satisfied. Now we can give Cody the title. We could have just done it last year. Roman went on a year-long vacation anyway, basically. So why didn't we do it last year? We were told it's going to be a lot more fun. Long-term storytelling. Are you having fun now, guys? Hey, BC, isn't this fun? Told you this would be fun. Cody versus Roman Part 2. No, we're not having a lot of fun. The company's confused. They don't even know what to do right now with the WrestleMania matches. You understand this was to buy more time, right? They truly don't know what to do. That's what's happening, guys. I hope you understand why this was done. They don't know what their matches are right now. Punk was just one kink in the plans in that injury. It's a lot more deeper than that. They don't know. That's why you got the post show like you did last night. It didn't feel like WrestleMania season last night with the post Royal Rumble show, did it? No, felt like another Raw. They're trying to buy time. The company's confused. So in the process, they had Cody Rhodes go out there, have Sethington confuse him with a promo, and now Cody doesn't know which title he wants to go for. And that's why we said last year Cody should have gotten that championship, for many reasons. Because BC, a lot of my amplified unit, we all knew because we were looking ahead. We know how this company conducts business. A lot of people gave them the benefit of the doubt. A lot of us said there's no way this is going to go without many kinks in the plan. And sure enough, here we are 2 months before WrestleMania. They don't even know which match they're going with. And they just had Cody Rhodes go, I'm not sure which title I want anymore. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to think about it. And then you wonder why us fans are not on board with this freaking match. Not only is there no story, Finish My Story is not a story to many of us. That was cute last year for 39. The whole year they've done nothing with one another. And 2 months before, the biggest storyline for Cody is contemplating a Seth Rollins match. And then you want us to have that same desire that we had for 39, knowing the desire that Cody had for Roman in that title last year. But he doesn't have that desire clearly now, but the fans were supposed to jump on board with your silly little Cody versus Roman Part 2 WrestleMania match. No thank you. We've said no thank you in the past. We're saying no thank you now. At this point, just give me Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes Part 4, I think this would be, like Rocky 4. Cody, Seth Part 4, because Cody versus Roman no longer has any substance for me. None. And after what they pulled last night, even if he does choose Roman, no substance whatsoever, because you just put out the flame that Cody supposedly had for Roman Reigns. At this point, just have him go out there in a promo and have Cody say, you know what? What about the 24/7 title? Wasn't that put in the trash? I want to ignite that because it's the American, it's the common man American dream, right? To turn nothing into something. To take what others look at garbage and make it prestigious. I'm going for the 24/7 title. We have a little bit of a laugh, but we're a stone's throw away from actually doing that. Seth Rollins cut one promo last night, and the wrestling community was like, he's got a point. Then what was the last year? What was this whole finish the story? If it's a whole nother story. BC, that's the real title. BC, that's the dusty title, like Seth said. Stop! We all know what story he's talking about. Most of us were not on board with this part 2 anyway, because we know it should have been done last year. After what they pulled last night, and now Cody doesn't even know if he wants to go for that title, definitively, he should have looked right at Seth and said, Seth, with all due respect, WrestleMania starts now, and it's with Roman Reigns. A year went by. I'll think about it, man. You know what? You gave a good pitch. You gave a Paul Heyman-esque pitch right there, man. I'm going to think about this. Wait till you hear what Seth said. We'll talk about what Cody said, man. I already gave too much up in the cold open teaser. But there's a lot to say about this. It just doesn't... Something's not adding up here. And WWE, being confused, actually had Cody go out there and muddy the waters. And then fans are befuddled, baffled. Why not a lot of other fans are on board with part 2? They don't even know what they're doing. They just had Cody go out there and not know what he wants. I gotta get a coffee. It's one of those. If you're wondering how the post-Rumble show, which ignites WrestleMania season, if you're wondering how it finished, a simplistic pinfall match with the Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn, and Michael Cole going, thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next week for Raw. No cliffhangers, no WrestleMania implications. Well, basically, maybe Drew's going to take a punk. Maybe it'll be Drew and Seth. Well, that's great if I didn't watch it 20 times since November. By the way, that's a real statistic. They have faced each other 20 times since November. November, December, January. 3 months, 20 times. House shows around the world, around the planet. Pay-per-views like Crown Jewel. Big Monday Night Raws like Day 1. We've seen Drew versus Seth in every variation. And that's your big WrestleMania match? Why are we ending the show? As much as I love heel Drew, as much as I love how the match ended, I don't like how the show ended. What are we doing, man? It didn't even feel like post-Rumble. It didn't feel like WrestleMania season. What are they doing with the ladies in the tag division, by the way? We have to talk about that. BC, was there anything good here? Actually, you know what? Sadly, CM Punk's promo was very good. The problem? That's the last time you're going to see Punk for another year. 9 months, that's how long it took his last triceps injury to re-heal. 9 months. He just got another year older. I told you, I need a coffee. There's so much to unpack on this. There's so much to talk about. I need a coffee. There's no other way to say it. Hold on. Give me a second, will you? We'll start right from the jump of the show. Pat McAfee. Wait till you hear this news. Let me get my Dunkin' extra cream and sugar up in here. There we go. Look at that texture, huh? That's magic potion right there, I call that. Dunkin' came out with an extra cream, extra sugar like concoction. It comes in a big bottle and you just pour it in. So it's like what is it, liquid sugar with the cream? I have no idea. But now it tastes like a legit Dunkin' you get right from the store. The winner of this match, as a result of a disqualification. You guys know by now, that's my Howard Finkel. Guys, salute to every one of you guys, man. Let's have a rockin' amplified review. What do you guys say? Let's have a lot of fun. Let's break this down. Most of you guys are going to enjoy it. Some of you guys will cry about it. But it's going to be all packed with honesty and amplification, I assure you. To everybody that caught the live stream before Raw as well, all my gold members especially, man, my channel members, man, that was an awesome live stream leading us into Raw. So let's continue that momentum for the review. To my amplified unit, red team, go, gold unit, shine those gold cards up. Let's get amplified. Monday Night Raw 129-24. Post-Rumble, the ignition has been set for WrestleMania. Did it feel like it? Let's talk about it. Hold up, I gotta get another sip, man. That is a straight Dunkin'. They changed the game with that whole concoction, sugar and cream in one bottle. It's actually from Dunkin', man. It's like you just got the Dunkin' from the barista down the block. Unreal. All right, guys, let's do this. Show starts with Pat McAfee and the announcement that going forward, Cole and Pat will be the new Raw team on commentary. That's massive, man. I don't know if you guys realize how much Pat McAfee has on his plate. He does so much, man. Switching over to ESPN in that show, he does the College Game Day, which thankfully that's pretty much done now. But he does so many things, and he just committed to Monday Night Raw. Now, I have to believe this is until they're going to revisit this until they get back to college season, right? Back to football. You got to believe, because that's going into the weekend. I understand most of that's Saturday, but that is a big commitment to finally, go home. He's got his kid now with his significant other, and he's got that one day Sunday, and then he's got to go back on the road on Monday nights. He doesn't like that. That was the whole thing with Friday before Saturday. That's a little bit more tight of a window, I understand, for College Game Day, but it's a lot to ask. This is a big grab for WWE, and Michael Cole and him are very good friends. Michael Cole oversees all of commentary duties, guys. And when I say duties, I mean behind the scenes too. Michael Cole actually runs the commentary. It's like a division in WWE, no question. Like, that's exactly what it is. And Michael Cole calls all the shots. He cuts the initial contracts and has to run it by people above him, obviously, who have to approve it. But Michael Cole makes all these decisions. What you're seeing, the flip-flop, Michael Cole makes those calls. So it's pretty interesting. Michael Cole really wanted Pat McAfee, really works well with him. What's a shame is that I really like Wade Barrett and Michael Cole. I was actually enjoying that team. Wade Barrett's very good, actually. So what do you do now? Do you have Wade Barrett go to SmackDown with Corey Graves? Because that's two color commentators, guys. That's not the actual play-by-play. It's not the Jim Ross, the Tony Schiavone, the Gordon Soley, even what Vince McMahon was back in the day on headset. Michael Cole today. You don't have the play-by-play. You have two color commentators. You have Corey Graves, who's supposed to be volleying back with the play-by-play. And Wade Barrett, who volleys back, the volley back guy, the color commentator, which is like Bobby the Brain Heenan, Jesse the Body Ventura back in the day. So if you have both of them, I guess you would have to insert maybe Vic Joseph from NXT. Because I doubt very much they're going to grab somebody like a Joe Styles, which we have a lot of fun and talk about, or a Mauro Ranallo, which is tied up. What is he doing? Bellator or something on Showtime, something like that. So unless they let him do WWE as well, would Mauro want to go back? It's HHH, not VKM in his ear. That's a plus for him. And for many others. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. Maybe they're still trying to work something out. Maybe they bring in some Yahoo who's got zero talent yet again. And we have to play this game for another 4, 5, 6 months until they realize, oh, wait, they don't have the it factor as a commentator. We're going to have to move the assembly line once again. Anyway, guys, I had to spend a minute on that because this is a big moment for Raw. A new commentary team in place. And again, if you haven't been around for a while, Kevin Patrick, the lead guy on SmackDown, was released from his duties and then released from the company. Fired. Kevin Patrick. So that's why it sent kind of a ripple effect through WWE. Thankfully for them, it was around the pay-per-view, so they kind of had Pat come back, which he would have anyway. He comes back for a lot of these big pay-per-views. So a lot of people weren't really thinking about Kevin Patrick, but now that things are back to normal as we get toward WrestleMania, now you're going to start to think, who's the SmackDown team? So we'll be keeping an eye on that. CM Punk's music hits. Loud CM Punk chants, man. I mean, this is one of the dudes right now. Let me tell you, there was no way he wasn't winning Elimination Chamber. He was being heavily promoted for the Chamber in Australia, and that was his path over to Sethington, you got to believe. Who knows? Maybe they still would have done the set speed. Maybe knowing them, they would have turned this into a triple threat for that title. Cody versus Punk versus Seth Rollins. But, I mean, this dude was just on fire. The bad news is his arm was in a sling, and it's exactly what BC told you guys before Raw, what we were hearing. Torn triceps. Usually 4 to 6 months. For Punk, it takes about 9 months. That's how long his last tricep injury in AEW took. 9 months. Maybe he was ready to go a month before and they just held him off, possibly. But the point is, it took a little bit longer. He's older now, 45, 46 years old. Last I checked, you only get older, not younger. So, tack on another 9 months to a year. This dude's going to come back legit 46 and looking at 47 now. I mean, you don't get... Unless you're really in the gym with a strict workout regime, you're only going to get more brittle. And at this point, Punk is getting hurt so often. It's like every other match, if not every match, there's a big injury happening. He jumps in the crowd, he breaks an ankle or whatever. Torn triceps on a maneuver you wouldn't even think something happened over in AEW, and you totally missed it at the Rumble. We think it's off the Future Shock with Drew McIntyre. But he's just breaking down. I mean, is he made of Pop-Tarts? You know what I mean? And it just, any little nudge, and that Pop-Tart just breaks. I have no idea, man. It's... Dude's made of cotton balls, and if the wind blows a little too extreme in one direction, CM Punk is going to blow into the Pacific Ocean. But he's just become so... And we've talked about it on this channel. People thought I was just being... Oh, BC, you and Punk have had, the issues, so you're just... You're a little harsher on Punk. No, I'm literally stating the facts. I've always said, as long as Punk comes back and he's a little bit more happier in the locker room and he conducts good business, Punk can be absolutely good for business. I'm not surprised at all with this WWE run. I knew with this type of structure, and if Punk just relaxes a little bit, tries to enjoy himself a bit more, and finds some semblance of love for pro wrestling again, I knew CM Punk will be more than okay. I've been loving everything he's been doing lately. But every time I said Punk just looks like he's broken down, and then Punk is breaking down, it's because I'm seeing everything you guys are. I'm just being honest about it. Punk just look. I mean, some people just kind of like they grow older gracefully, and you really don't see it. Some people, they grow older and you just notice it, you know what I mean? But Punk just looks like sometimes like he's 185. And you're like, somebody walks in while you're watching pro wrestling, they're like, whoa, they brought this dude out of retirement, huh? Is that legal? Can he wrestle over 100? What are you talking about? It's CM Punk. He's 45. What sucks about this is I've been really enjoying Punk's work and really looking forward to WrestleMania. Punk holding up the championship, Seth's title, because we knew Seth had a bunch of injuries. He's going away after Mania for a while. Punk holds up the title. I was more than okay with that. In fact, that's the match I wanted to see. Punk, Seth, it's sold. Punk gets the title. Cool. What a moment. What a moment in Philly. I don't have to be the biggest CM Punk supporter to know that that's good business. And CM Punk at WrestleMania going for the title, even in one of the two main events, more than okay with it. Let me take out the wallet. This sucks, man. Absolutely. A lot of people looking forward to a match like Brock and Gunther, I found out over the last month, if you watch the channel. It behooves me as to why, because Brock would never go for an IC title, but I get it. Gunther versus Brock is a fun match. Okay, well, you ain't getting that because Brock's been pulled from everything going forward. So then people are looking forward to Seth and Punk. You ain't getting that now. Seth got injured and Punk got injured. And then there's those people that are like, well, at least we get Cody Roman Part 2. You might not even get that. And even if you do, it looks like they're absolutely setting up for Roman getting Hulk Hogan's record, guys. They even had Seth drop a Hulk Hogan reference last night about Roman's title. Did you guys catch that? Did you guys see all the promotion for Hulk Hogan's 40-year title anniversary? You guys seeing what's happening? I told you a year ago, I was the first person to break this news, what was being talked about in the Performance Center. And I told you guys, it was a ballsy report that I gave you. But I thought it needed to be told. They're talking about Roman getting Hulk's record. Here we are a year later. Yeah, you're starting to see a little something. It's probably why they don't want Cody in there with Roman. Right now, they're probably thinking of any way not to do Cody versus Roman Part 2. And then you wonder why it should have been last year. So we didn't come across these muddy waters. This isn't long-term storytelling. This is stupid storytelling. This is nonsensical story. This is not storytelling. This is ending something and saying we're going to revisit it in a year and see where we're at. That's what HHH did last year. All of these big Mania matches that we thought we were going to get or could have gotten, right, started to think about, they're all one by one. WrestleMania is just all up in the air, and I can't say that's a good thing, right? It's not in the good way. CM Punk is out. Anyway, thank you for giving me a minute because I'm still trying to process that. And it wasn't even a one-on-one match. It was a Royal Rumble. And CM Punk is snapping his arm in half. Or torn tricep. Whatever. He's out of commission with one arm. I said in the stream yesterday, you guys heard me. If you guys caught the live stream before Raw, I said, listen, I think it's an even game. Seth has one leg. CM Punk has one arm. Put them both in a medical scooter, like a wheelchair. Put them both in their separate little medical vehicles. Take down the ropes and the turnbuckles like you do a big show sumo wrestling match at WrestleMania. They did that years ago. Take down the ropes and the turnbuckle. Have Seth in his medical scooter. Have Punk in his medical scooter. And have them just go. On the count of 3, they just go out and play a game of chicken. Whoever runs their opponent in their medical scooter off the apron wins the match and the title. Let's go! We can still do Seth versus Punk. Now you laugh and you go, BC, that's ridiculous. Did you not see Big Show in a diaper sumo wrestling at WrestleMania years ago? Because I saw that. I can't unsee it now. I told you I needed coffee. Stay there if you don't mind. I'm going to come right back to you. Drew McIntyre hits the ring. And by the way, Punk gives an emotional amplified promo. It's like a speech a college coach would use to pump his team up with. You know what I mean? That old college speech. He's going around the ring like a coach would go around to his team, and he's pumping everybody up. You know, I remember after one of his UFC losses, you know, he gave this speech as if he won or something, like a Rocky speech, like a college attaboy. We gave it the old college try speech. It comes across as a little hokey, I'm not gonna lie, but it fit. You know, he's trying. This is a WWE audience, this will work a little bit differently than in say other promotions where you can say that, you know, he's talking about this is for the garbage man. This is for the teacher. You know, you guys are really putting in the struggle and the grind every day. This is just a bump in the road, he says. He talks about friends that he has, firefighters that are really putting up the good fight, and other friends that have real diseases and that are really fighting for their lives. And he looks at his arm and he says, this is just a bump in the road. I'll be back from this. It was a really good speech. Drew McIntyre came out. Now, when I heard his music, I thought, brilliant. I said this in the live stream before Raw. I said, if indeed Punk got injured from the Future Shock in the Rumble, then they should play this up. They should make sure that Drew gets a lot of heel heat from this. Before Punk leaves, give that rub over to Drew and the new heel character. No more of this tweener shit with Drew McIntyre. He's got to be a full throttle heel. Punk is the great vehicle on his way out to do that for Drew. So when I heard Drew's music, I was like, bingo. Bingo, I got the scorecard. It's brilliant. Drew McIntyre comes out, and Drew said, this was great from the jump, man, because Drew says, I'm not going to lie. I'm not a spiritual person, but I prayed for this to happen. I spoke this into existence, your injury, CM Punk, to get you out of the WrestleMania spot. And the crowd was like, oh, dude, that's so low. What a prick. It was good stuff, man. Drew then drops Punk with a Glasgow Kiss headbutt. Drew then stomps Punk's injured arm. And Punk screams in agony. I've never heard Punk scream like that, man. As officials and even a returning Sami Zayn hits the ring to aid CM Punk. This would set up Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn later in the night. I was fine with that, even though we've seen that match 1,000 times. In fact, just recently, that's how Sami got taken out. But I was fine with it. Makes sense. We'll do it again. We'll run it back. At least this is a little bit in line of some semblance of a story. I didn't know it was going to be the main event, and literally the last moment before we went off the air was just whoever won the match. And then Michael Cole says goodnight, everybody. Had I known that, I would not have been on board with this. We'll go over that when we get to the end of the review. But to start this, man, I thought it was so well done. Punk nailed his promo. Drew McIntyre was the right person to get the rub off of Punk as he leaves as a heel for Drew. And in the way that it was done, I'm glad that they were able to get physical, still protect the arm. It was nicely bit. Once it's torn, guys, it's torn. So if anybody's thinking sloppy shop, isn't it? I mean, he shouldn't be taking bumps with that arm. You could say that, yes, but there was enough doctors there to say, no, he can absolutely do X, Y. Remember Cody Rhodes, for instance, Hell in a Cell. A lot of people look at that as gruesome. That should have never happened. You could cause more damage. Actually, no. Any doctor will tell you it was off the bone. There was nothing Cody could do any worse. Now it's just about pain. Is Cody tough enough to do that match? That's all it is. But no doctor can actually tell you anything would be any worse. Just pain. So it's all Cody. I mean, there's no more damage that can be done. The pec in that is different than the tricep. Just for full transparency, I understand that. But it's along the lines of a tear is much different than like a break. And once it's torn, you wrap that thing up like saran wrap if you're moving on boxes. You know, it ain't going anywhere. And all he took was a headbutt and then a kayfabe stomp onto the arm. So everything's good for anybody going, he should have never done that. That could have added 4 more months of injury, rehab time. So I thought it was great. The physicality at the end just made Drew even more of that vicious heel that we've been waiting for. I like the first segment. And that might have been the best part of the show, no? You could argue that the best match of the night was next. It was the first match of the night, the tag team title match. Judgment Day's Priest and Balor versus DIY. You could argue that's like the best match of the night, but unfortunately that's where it ends for DIY. Right? Now we have to start the actual layers of DIY. What do I mean? Give me a second. Let me get a swig. I'll tell you exactly what I mean. So they had the immaculately beautiful Samantha Irvine on the introductions last night, of course. And this was the title match. So she's right in the middle doing the introductions with the lights dimmed, spotlight on her. She's becoming a star, man. That Rumble performance was the star-breaking. It made everybody, I always knew she was a beautiful girl. She's got talent. We've talked about her here and there. But Rumble is when BC really was like, whoa. This is like you miss Lillian Garcia. You don't think many are going to be. You don't know if there's going to be a female that comes around that's going to be better than Lillian Garcia, right? She was really good. But Samantha Irvine not just is in the category, she might be even better. Howard Finkel, class of his own. Nobody will ever top the Fink. He's just had the natural voice. He just understood this thing. He was just destined, born to do that. But Samantha Irvine's just a star. You guys saw what Cody Rhodes did last night, right? We'll get to it. We have a lot to talk about in that segment. But Samantha Irvine, man, stealing the show with this tag team title match from the jump. This was a good tag match, obviously. I mean, you got Finn Balor in there, Tommaso, Johnny Wrestling, and Damien Priest gets better and better by the week. So it was a good tag match. Balor ends up pinning Tommaso off of coup de grace. Day of Judgment wins and retains the championships. A lot of people deflated. DIY should have won it. No, they shouldn't have. Guys, Judgment Day have had the titles for a while. They're heels. WrestleMania is in a couple of months. That's the stage for the heels that have been champions for a while to be defeated by top babyfaces, right? That's what Io Shirai, Io Sky, same way. Heel with the title for a while with Mania around the corner. This has been set up beautifully for a lot of these heel champions. Now you just got to find the right people to beat them, which is by Bayley in that situation befuddles BC. Wait till I get to that, by the way. Oh, I got a lot to talk about with the Bayley situation because that's utter stupidity to another level. But for this, no, this is absolutely the right call. A lot of people thought DIY would be going to WrestleMania to face Judgment Day. I mean, to blow them off 2 months before Mania in the middle of a Monday Night Raw. Wow, man. But DIY doesn't need titles right now. So anybody thinking that, they're done, relax. They're going to be just fine. They don't need titles right now. Just give the audience a reason to care about them. This match showed the casual fans that they could wrestle, right? The ones that don't see black and gold from back in the day. Maybe they don't know a lot about Tommaso or Johnny. This showed the casual fan that, hey, they're good wrestlers, right? We can watch their match and go, this is awesome. Right? So that's a good first step to get the audience to care. Good first step. The prerequisite, knowing how to wrestle, is a good thing. I get it. It's actually not as big as you think, but it's a good first step. The character actually matters more than anything, first of all. That it factor to connect with the audience. After that, even if you just do punches, kicks, body slams, and clotheslines, you can still connect to the ultimate of levels, but that's another story. They can wrestle. The crowd has a chance to say, this is awesome. Nice first step. Now what we do going forward is we add more layers to DIY. Give the audience a reason to care about them, not just with their moveset, what they do in the ring. You have to give them those storylines that make people look twice. Whoa, what's going on with DIY? What just happened in the street? Not the parking lot. What happened in the street with DIY? Put those layers in, man. Once an individual, once a fan, casual or hardcore, once they get invested into something, got them. So do it. This is where you either step on the gas pedal for DIY or you just pump those brakes. They lost the tag match, and just like the Creed brothers, they're not seen again. I mean, do you guys remember the Creed brothers were getting this ultimate push for a minute, right? For 1 month straight, the Creed brothers, that's all you saw. Now, are they even on the roster, you're asking yourself? Right? There's once in a while, they're looking stupid AF backstage because they're just not good in promos and they just look really stupid. One of them just is always like he doesn't know where he is. One of the Creed brothers. I don't even know which one it is. Remember, they were getting pumped up so big and then they're like, oh, they're gone. Well, there was no connection with the audience, but that's the thing. You have to give them a reason. We've seen 4 weeks in a row, the Creed brothers can wrestle. Cool. Pro wrestling is way more than just moves, buddy. If you think that the majority of us that watch wrestling today watch because of the gymnastics that are being performed, no. Larger-than-life characters, storylines that captivated us. Remember that simple philosophy, and you'll be fine. Otherwise, DIY will be no different than the Creed brothers. Flavor of the month, and then hit the bricks. Xia Li's the same way. You can go into the singles competitors as well. So DIY will be just fine if you start to add layers to them. If you don't, then this is the highest peak for DIY. They'll give you some good wrestling matches, and some crowds will go, "This is awesome." Hit the showers and send out the next wrestlers. Let's do it again. After the match, post-match, all Judgment Day, minus Rhea Ripley, stands in the ring. They call out R-Truth. It's just a setup as Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonuts attack Truth from behind. Miz hits the ring, not sure what he was thinking, not sure what he thought he was going to do, but he didn't do anything. And he quickly gets handled alongside R-Truth. The segment ends with Judgment Day posing to the hard cam as Miz and R-Truth are looking up at the lights, wondering where they went wrong. How about you shouldn't have gone to the ring? Truth and Miz. So this is setting up more Miz or what do they call themselves? Rated Truth? Truth R? What is that? Miz? What the hell are they? Something Truth. Undisputed Truth, Amplified Truth. What the hell are they called? The Awesome Truth. That's what it is. Awesome Truth. Wait a second. I just thought of something. R-Truth has a lot of fan support right now. I've been cracking up at Truth more than ever before. I actually gave it. He got a good on the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly at the Rumble. If you guys saw the live stream during the Rumble, we do a different type of review. And we have a good column, a bad column, and an ugly column. And every match gets a tally, and then I can put up as many tallies as I want for any reason. R-Truth got his own good WWE's pay-per-view for the Rumble. Thank R-Truth for one of those goods. Because it was just hilarious how he sold the number 24 spot in the Women's Rumble. He was in the wrong Rumble. It was so good, I had to give him his own good. But Truth's on fire. Guys, could they give R-Truth and Miz the tag titles at Mania? I mean, I'm not saying that would deflate WrestleMania at all. It would be so cool. I mean, Miz, I like Miz. R-Truth, to say he doesn't deserve that type of moment would be stupid. Because he absolutely does. I just never thought that. I mean, we went from Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens getting the tag titles last year to Miz and R-Truth. I don't know. I didn't think of that. They could have set up that, guys. Miz and R-Truth, Awesome Truth, getting the tag titles at Mania. Maybe that's the two. Because if not, who? Who's going to be taking on Judgment Day and taking those titles at Mania? There is no tag team that's really connects with the audience today. Are you going to have the New Day versus Judgment Day yet again? Is the New Day holding up titles at WrestleMania 40 like we've seen 87 times in the past? Interesting. That's why I love these reviews, man, because as I'm going over what happened, I'm actually, all this new info is kind of running through the dome piece. Just makes for a lot more discussion. Also makes for a much longer review, but hopefully you guys got a beverage and you're relaxing and enjoying the review, right? Being captivated by the review, not just enjoying it. Just enjoy wrestling. Just enjoy the review. Anyway, guys. So, Judgment Day finally tells R-Truth, you ain't with us, and they they beat him up. And I like how Damien Priest set it up too. I actually like R-Truth. That's why I'm not going to be the one to do this. And freaking McDonuts and Dom attack him from behind. And then we go to the end of hour number 1. Shayna Baszler and Zoey Stark versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Why? What are we doing? What are we doing? Shayna Baszler and Zoey versus Chelsea and Piper. And a 2-minute match, by the way. 2-minute match. And is Shayna and Zoey faces, by the way? It's one of those things. I said this about the Profits. Now we know Lashley and the Profits are more face with the going up against Kairi and Cross and his clique. But there was a time where they didn't know what they were doing with Profits and Lashley, and they were just coming out. And there was a moment where I thought they were heels, and they were like slapping fives with like kids in the crowd, and I was like, what? Who? Drew McIntyre, right, in his tweener status. I'm so fans are confused. We don't even know who's a face and a heel these days. Baszler and Zoey come out, I'm thinking they're a heel, right? Shayna is one of those people that every other week you really have to think, what is she? And this is one of those things where, listen, watch the crowd reaction. Nobody knows. Like, do we cheer her? Because they're taking on Niven and Chelsea. Usually they're the heels. But HHH doesn't care, right? He has face versus face matches and they just shake hands afterwards. The mutual respect era is what I call it. He does heel versus heel matches all the time, too. Doesn't matter if it's like Bronson and Gunther and so many others. He does these type of things all the time. I'm starting to think maybe he doesn't know, right? Maybe it's a remembering thing where it's just like, I don't even know who's a face and a heel, so I'm just going to have them go out and have matches. You're going to have to do more than just a wrestling exhibition and then shake hands afterwards, man. You wonder why you're losing an audience. Guys, I can't stand saying this. I can't stand it. But it's the truth. Monday Night Raw is pulling in the lowest ratings of all time under Levesque McMahon, like pinpointed from the time he took over. The lowest, their average was 1.4 to 1.5. You say, well, BC, man, it was football season. Guys, the go-home show to the Royal Rumble last week with no Monday Night Football scored a 1.6 semod. So their average is 1.4, 1.5. The go-home show to the Rumble with no football competition scored a 1.6 semod. It's not good. There's so much that's being done better than when VKM was there. No question about it, and I'm thankful for that. But if you guys notice, it's still the same formula. Match after match after match after match. Promo, match, promo, match. And now a lot of these matches don't even make sense. There's no run for the crowd to cheer for in a lot of these matches. You're doing heels versus heels. BC, at least they're longer now. They're being showcased. Well, this was a 2-minute match. Zoey Stark pinched Chelsea Green in 2 minutes. So, a lot of the audience is not enjoying this match after match after match with no care at all. This is what we were saying about VKM. There's no care to a lot of this. These shows just feel like you're just trying to fill 3 hours and you're not having fun creatively. These shows feel like backstage they're just not having fun. Do you understand why the Attitude Era was so successful? BC, all the larger-than-life stars, man. The Stone Colds, the Rocks, the Cerebral Assassin Triple H, the Undertaker. Yeah. And do you know why? Everything was fun with them, man. Even if some of the shit was stupid or just really bad, you still were having so much fun. You were talking about it the next day, right? Do you know why? It's because Vince Russo and Ed Ferreira, and when they got together with Vince, man, they were having fun. They were thinking outside the box. They were living out of bounds. They were never in the field of play. They were always out of bounds when they were writing. And it worked. They were having fun. They were getting creative. These Raw shows are so formulaic, man. It's just one match after another match. We started the show with Michael Cole just going, welcome everybody. Royal Rumble was a success. Tonight, it's the road to WrestleMania. We're so glad you're with us. Like monotone. And I'm like, Michael Cole had no energy. That was starting us off. When we ended the show, Michael Cole was like, wow, what a win for Drew. Good night, everybody. Thank you for a good weekend. We'll see you next week. This is WrestleMania season. Rumble is over with. It's just bad, man. It's bad. And it's not BC. That's kind of hard. It's BC. You're actually right, man. That's true. If we just tweak this, get more creative here, think about what we're doing, have more fun backstage with the creative aspect, these shows will be 10 times better. The rating could creep back to 2.0 bare minimum. We'll see what this Raw rating pulls this week by. It's a post show. Post will do a little bit more than go home, maybe. There is zero reason they should pull anything less than a 1.8 sem-odd. Zero fucking reason. This is post Rumble. There's a lot of surprises in the women's one. You had the Punk news with the torn tricep. 2 big winners were promoted for the Raw event, Bayley and Cody. If they pull anything less than a 1.8, 1.9-ish, mega fail. But you can't even say it's you can't even guarantee without any football competition, the post-Rumble show, igniting WrestleMania season, you can't even guarantee they'll pull a 1.8, 1.9. You kind of got to kind of cringe a little bit when the number comes out. Please get the 1.9, get the 1.9, get the 1.9. Anyway, Zoey Stark and Baszler beat Green and Niven in 2 minutes. I don't know what it does for either one of these 4 ladies, guys. Nothing. We start hour number 2. If you guys don't mind, I want to, down the rest of this, I'm going to start a new coffee for hour 2. All right? I told you I got a lot to say, but hopefully you guys are enjoying the review. We haven't even got to the best parts yet, so I want to down this. I'm going to start another coffee, and we'll start hour number 2. Sound good? All right, guys, that's not an earthquake. I got another coffee brewing. So we'll let that go, and we'll jump right into hour number 2. This was Cody Rhodes and Sethington Rollins, and this is the big talk in the community, and I can't even believe that this discussion is being had. This is absolutely wild to me, but I shouldn't be shocked. Yep. Oh, yeah. This one's going to be a hazelnut coffee, too. I had some Dunkin' hazelnuts still left over, man. Very good. That's the way to do hour number 2. A Dunkin' hazelnut. Let's rock. Cody Rhodes starts hour number 2. He has Samantha Irvine do his introduction twice, and she nails it. That's how good she's. I mean, this girl is just, she gets better and better on these introductions. And Cody Rhodes, he's like, I got goosebumps when I heard that, man. Samantha, can you do me a favor? Say that again. And Samantha nails it again. The camera's right on her. It was great, man. Hold on, let me top this coffee off if you guys don't mind, because there's a lot to say about this. So Cody Rhodes comes, he says, let's make WrestleMania 40 official, and that's when Sethington Rollins' music hits. Seth comes to the ring, and from there, oh boy. Salute unit, hour number 2. Let's go. Ah. Oh, thank you, Dunkin' Donuts. I tell you. Seth Rollins comes to the ring and he delivers a promo. And he says, I just want you to hear me out. Just hear me out. I think you should choose me in this title for WrestleMania. So many people in the crowd are already like, no. It went from the sing-along, oh, like walking zombies, to no. It was funny. And Seth is like, just hear me out, everybody. I hear you, Tampa, but hear me out. And he delivers a promo that's being praised today, by the way, as it should. He delivered it flawlessly, and everything he said was correct, right? That's why it's being praised, right? What a promo. Did you hear what It's everything we've been saying. They're just reciting everything that they know. If anything, it's a slap in the face to fans, right? The company knows everything we're saying. Everything we're saying, they know. They just refuse to change anything. Or do anything about it. Or address the concerns. So Seth Rollins basically just cuts a promo, like a fan would. Right? This is the real title. That's a title that's not even defended. This is the workhorse title. That's the Hollywood title. Would you rather the Hulk Hogan title, he says. He literally said the Hulk Hogan title. Remember what I've been saying about this record, man, that they want him. He's just a few months away from topping Hulk Hogan. This company does not let those opportunities go by, man. I've seen Bianca Belair hold her title too long just so she could get I forgot which record it was, longest Raw champion, I guess, right? And she had the celebration. I think it was in Tennessee. I remember all the orange balloons. They love that. Gunther holding the title and getting that record, making a big deal out of it. Roman Reigns hitting the 1,000 and then everything afterwards. They love these type of records being broken because it actually does make headlines. It gets into ESPN. It gets into People, Variety, ESPN, Sports Illustrated. It gets all these headlines, and they know that, and it's for the right reasons. Not anything legally or anything like that. I mean, this Hulk Hogan's record just got... He mentioned Hulk Hogan. Would you rather the Hulk Hogan title or this one, the Workhorse Championship? He called that the Hollywood title. Again, setting up The Rock, by the way. Right? The Hollywood title, a little thing to The Rock, the Hulk Hogan title, because they know they might have Hulk Hogan's record be tied. So these were planted there beautifully. And he also says, this is the real title this is the real Dusty title, right? And Cody's expression is like, everything I thought I knew, poof, gone. What a conundrum I currently am in. And Cody Rhodes looks at, now this was a defining moment. This was his chance. If you're truly that desire is burning so passionately that you have to get Roman Reigns' title, right? You have to get back to Mania. You're in the position. Here we are a year later, and you have that chance yet again. This is your chance to look at Seth and say, with all due respect, Roman Reigns, and point up at that frickin'. That's it. I don't care if somebody comes out, attacks Seth, you set up that Mania match. I don't even care if it's a Gunther at that point. Title versus title. I don't care what you do. But that was the time for Cody Rhodes to try to ignite the fan base that is no longer on board with this finishing of the story. And as a Cody supporter, I'm not. That ended when he was down at that next to that rubber chicken last year, man. There was a botched call. We know it was an audible in the last few days, keeping it on Roman, knowing he was going away for a while. And Cody was touring around the world, so he obviously would have the title. And the Brock feud, the title was the whole point of that. So that never made sense. We know that was a botched audible. And HHH, to his credit, said, basically admitted, right? Sometimes we get it right, sometimes we get it wrong, knowing he got it wrong. But the point is, to ignite the fan base that needs to be ignited to get on board with this, you would have to say definitively in Seth's face, sorry, Seth, I have to finish this story. Instead, Cody looks at him and goes, Seth, I gotta tell you, I'll think about it. And he walks off in the crowd. You could have heard a pin drop. That's how quiet it was. Two of the biggest faces in WWE in all of pro wrestling, Sethington and Codathan. And they both had silence when the segment came to a close because everybody at that point was confused. Wait, what's going on? I thought the whole point was to get to this moment to finish your story. This is not the same story. This is a whole different book. I can't even say it's one of those books with two separate finishes and you get to pick your own ending. You know, those type of books. You kind of navigate your own path through the book and you come to your own finish. Or you could choose another way and it's a different finish. This is a different book. This title was just created last year. We're calling it a dusty title. He looked at Seth and he said, I'll think about it. And what I'm told for fans like BC is we should just get on board. This is fun, right? Cody getting struggle and adversity and Roman holding the title for another year and then coming back to this match and running it back. It's going to be fun, BC. Just have patience and wait. It's going to be fun when we do Cody and Roman again. When? WrestleMania is in 2 months, man. It's the end of February. Is Wednesday, Thursday? Thursday is February. The beginning of April, that's 2 months, and it's WrestleMania. When does the fun kick in? I'm seeing Cody and Seth promos. I'm not even seeing Roman. Give it time, please. What, the 2 months of build? Because they haven't been building anything for a year. Once in a while, you just hear Cody is still trying to finish his story. He just needs another 72 matches with Judgment Day, and we'll get there. So you wonder why we're all like, wait, this did nothing but harm that match even more. Now Cody Rhodes is confused as to what he wants. Now Cody Rhodes no longer even has that burning desire to go after Roman's championship. Seth gave 1 4-minute promo, and Cody's like, I gotta sleep on this. I don't even know if I want Roman in that title anymore. You said dust it, my dad? Oh, damn, man. Fuck. All right, you know what? New story. BC, it's not Cody's fault. WWE is confused. They don't know what to do right now. They don't know if they want to put the Rock. They don't know if they're going to have to put the Rock on because of the legal woes. How much is this hurting? If the Rock wanted to wait a year, but WWE's like, dude, we need you now, right? It might not even be the Rock's fault. WWE is in a conundrum right now. They're seeing what they need to do. They're losing people like Lesnar and CM Punk, and they don't even know if Rollins can freaking go, probably. They're just seeing. And that's a problem. But whoa, what a plot twist. That's not good. This is not going to sell Cody versus Roman anymore, let me tell you. In fact, it just hurt it even more. Now Cody doesn't even know if he wants to go for Roman in that title. Wow. That's what we were trying to tell you a year ago. Careful how much benefit of the doubt you give the company. Because they'll burn you. They'll absolutely burn you. They're not thinking that far ahead. Fans they're adorable, right? This is long-term storytelling. HHH knows what he's doing, BC. No, they don't know, guys. They were just going to revisit it. They called an audible. They wanted on Roman. They're going to revisit it. They knew there was a good chance they're going to get The Rock anyway, so they're like, no, it's better off on Roman anyway. If you thought for 1 second HHH's plan from the beginning was just, we'll run it back next year with Cody. Absolutely not. Too much benefit of the doubt. If you wonder where I stand, I'd honestly rather have Seth versus Cody because, you know what? I don't need Cody and Roman part 2 to... I just don't need it to happen. That all ended at 39. I might as well see part 4 of Cody and Seth. Let Cody get the damn title or whatever's going to happen. Play the charade like he got Dusty's title. And just give me Rock and Roman. It's the more fun match for me. I don't even need a title on the line. I don't give a shit. Have Roman win the match, win the title, keep the title, and go break Hogan's record. If you're asking me after what I saw last night, now Cody Rhodes doesn't even know what title he wants. And I'm supposed to be on board with part 2 of Roman and Cody. I'd rather Rock and Cody because like I've said from the jump, it's more fun for a lot of us fans. It just is. And after last night, it's become even more of the better match. So, if you didn't catch the show, that actually happened last night. Seth gave 1 promo, said everything that us fans have been saying, so it was a good promo. And Cody was like, Seth, I'll think about it. I don't even know what I want to do now. Awesome. Man, he waited a year to finish this Roman story. I can see how passionate he is to get this job done. Jason Uso is up next. He defeats Bronson Reed via pinfall. Welp, there goes Bronson's new recent push. 3 weeks ago, he was 2 weeks ago, right? He was like this badass backstage. I'm coming for a current champion, right? All mysterious. Who's the champion, right? There's only a few. You're not going for Seth's title. That's obvious. You can't even get by Gunther and his IC title. What do you mean? So you already went for Gunther and you lost. You ain't going for Seth. That's packed. Either Punk or now they're teasing Cody. People are saying, hey, what if Gunther took on Seth? There's all these things. Bronson Reed isn't going to be the guy. So then they were like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have done that promo. So then WWE changed this dude the very next week to say, I'm after Jey Uso. That's what I meant. And it was so bad. He's like, he's not a champion, but he's on his way for a title, and I'm going to stop it. So the backstage promos, because WWE didn't think it through, made this dude look like an idiot, just like they made Cody look like a schmuck last night. They made Bronson look like an idiot the past 2 weeks. So then they just had him go out there and have a match with Jey Uso, and then they just had Bronson lose. I'm not saying Jey should have lost this, by the way. It's just weird, man. Can we just all agree? Bronson, done. There's just no connection anyway. So when the booking isn't behind him and there's no connection, I knew it was bad for Bronson when he lost to Gunther and he stayed in the ring. And they wanted him to be the sentimental favorite, right? Like, wow, he lost, but he gave it everything he had. The problem is, he's a heel. He's a big, brute heel. And you're trying to get the sympathy face turn after one loss to Gunther. The crowd didn't bite at all, guys, and it was silence. Do you guys remember that? I talked about it heavily in the review afterwards. It was a silent crowd, no sympathy at all. And I was like, oop, this isn't going to be good. They're going to have to dedicate quadruple time to Bronson. And you know this company's not going to dedicate triple, double time. They're not going to give any creativity to most of these dudes. So I'm not surprised at all that Bronson Reed continues the downward trajectory in his WWE career. Backstage, Andrade. So I like this segment, actually. It was a backstage segment. Andrade signs an exclusive Raw contract with Adam Pearce. Nick Aldis walks in, but he's too late. He's like, undermining, man. I didn't even have a chance. I had a great package ready to be signed by Andrade, man. A great contract presentation. Pearce is like, you're just too late. It's business, Pearce says. So Nick Aldis says, well, speaking of business, we have to discuss the Elimination Chamber. But then Nick Aldis' phone rings. He looks at Pearce. He says, I need to take this. It's Braun Breaker. So this was well played, right? WWE gets Andrade, huge free agent, and then SmackDown retaliates instantly with the signing, basically, or in the process of Braun Breaker going to the Blue Brand. Now, Braun is still in NXT. He's in this weird-ass tournament tag team with Baron Corbin, guys. So they still parade Braun Breaker around like a clown, when he should be a legit badass that has nothing to do with Baron Corbin other than steamrolling straight through Baron Corbin. But I like how this was set up. Both brands get a big, valuable free agent. Then we had an IC title match. This was Gunther defeating Kofi Kingston via pinfall off the Gunther powerbomb to retain the IC title. Post-match, Imperium takes out the New Day. When we say filler, that's just what this is. Kingston just gets an IC title match after feuding in a tag team feud with Imperium for weeks now. And he just gets an IC title match? Just weird to me. And then afterwards, they just did the Imperium attack. It's like we're going to see the same thing every week. Imperium and New Day fighting each other. At what point is that no longer a storyline and just redundancy? We've said this for years, right? Under VKM, we say it with HHH. You have to be careful. It's not new anymore. You just knew. Imperium's going to hit the ring and we're going to watch them go to war again. Problem is, when you're in the crowd and you're going through production tables, how much higher can you go after that? They can't. So now you're just seeing them fight back in the ring again. And we'll see it next week. And then go to WrestleMania, have another match. The point, how is this fun, right? There's nobody that can go, I liked it. What did you like? The same people fighting again? Did you get your rocks off? It's so odd that they would even think this is entertaining to us. The fact that this gets approved. The fact that somebody calls this creative. HHH is the Chief Content Officer. Chief Creative Content Officer. What is he? I don't even know. CFFO. Chief Creative Content Officer. CCCO? I don't know what. Listen, he's the Chief Show Filling Officer. Let's make it simpler. CSFO. Chief Show Filling Officer. Because he's just show filling at this point. I don't know who on the post-Rumble show that's supposed to ignite WrestleMania season thought that Imperium and New Day just punching each other again in the ring for the 97th straight week is fun. It's WrestleMania, guys. Where's the passion, the amplification, the creativity? You know I'm right, man. This is just not worthy of Mania season, man. In the past, even under VKM, can't believe we're saying this, but it already felt like Mania season. Even at the Rumble, even before the Rumble, it started to feel it. This is more than just injuries or people being taken out. This is just lack of creativity on this show. I'll give you the go-home show. I'll give you a mulligan. There's no excuse not to come with your A game for the post show. Everybody's tired, basically. Did you hear Pat McAfee? The dude was basically sleeping through the broadcast, and Pat's better than that. That's true, by the way. Pat was absolutely just on empty. WWE was probably on empty. I don't know what to tell you. It's Mania season. A game every single show going forward. You know that, I know that, they know that. Gunther defeats Kingston. Imperium takes out New Day. Again. Kabuki Warriors from Damage Control and the Blue Brand show up. Unified tag titles, so they can show up on any brand being champs. Kabuki Warriors versus Teagan Nox and Nattie Nox. So, right? Teagan Nox, Nattie Knockers. There you go, huh? Teagan Nox, Nattie Knockers. The Knockers! Like the Rockers, but the Knockers. I don't like that, man. No, if that's the case, Teagan has to be replaced. Get Jenny in there. You guys ever see Nattie's sister? That's a tag team. The Knockers. Nattie and Jenny, the Knockers. I don't know what you guys want me to say. What am I reviewing here, man? If this was any more boring, it would have been golf. If this was any more boring, it would have been golf. If the crowd would have been any more silent, they would have been watching cricket. Kairi pins Nattie off the insane elbow. Post-match, Samantha introduces Bayley. Bayley comes out. She cuts a total heel promo and seems like Damage Control is in lockstep. Rhea Ripley then comes out as a face. Everyone's yelling mommy, right? She's in this dominant heel faction, but she's positioned as a face, right? She's having this promo with a heel group Damage Control. And Nia Jax attacks her from behind, drops 3 or 4 leg drops, and then drops a Nia squash ass splash for good measure. So absolutely just annihilates and squashes Rhea Ripley. Nia Jax then gets into Bayley's face and says, you can pick Io or any other champion, but Rhea isn't making it to WrestleMania. Bayley responds, if you just let me finish, I was going to say, I'm not making my decision till SmackDown, Friday night. And the segment ended like that, where just like Seth and Cody, the crowd was confused as shit. They didn't know what was, like, that's it? What's going on? Why is Nia involved with Rhea? That's setting up Jade Cargill and Nia in the future. Rhea and Becky, or I guess Bayley's teasing Bayley and Rhea. But where does Nia fit into this? So they were confused by that. Then Bayley's whole promo got interrupted by Nia, of all people, which totally killed the crowd right there and then. And they never recovered, right? Nia Jax is just a crowd killer. She comes out, crowd's done. And Bayley's just like, I'm going to make my decision Friday. And camera pulls off a little bit, and we go to commercial, I guess. Or we go to Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. I don't know what they did. But the crowd was like, anything more? Nope. Guys, do you understand that there is zero tension or dissension within the ranks of Damage Control? None. The whole point here of Bayley winning and all the teasing in the past of Damage Control and Bayley kind of being on the outs, the whole point is to do Bayley and Io. Now you say, well, BC, they could still be doing that. They're probably just setting that up. This is the best way there's no tension at all. They were building it up nice. A little too slow. There should have been even more dissension within the ranks, but at least they were planting little seeds. The past several weeks, no seeds at all. They're just in lockstep. They're all obeying to Bayley again. Wouldn't it have been better if you started to see this real divide? And then you can bring in people that help Bayley, that's going to be meaningful and actually set up something really big for the Kabuki Warriors and WrestleMania. And set up something for Dakota when she's back in the ring. I mean, you could set this all around Bayley's conflict with the Damage Control and vice versa. Instead, they're a legit group. They're in lockstep. They're all thinking as one again. And then all of a sudden Bayley just says Io, and that's gonna ignite the tension again. BC. I hope they do it right. There's nothing we can do but sit back and wait and see how they play it out. So trust me, let it play out. We have no choice. We're gonna let it. But wow. This should have been so much more. By this show last night, we should have been already off to the races, bro. And everybody's getting pumped for Io and Bayley. Instead, the crowd was silent. For anybody that says, BC, man, that's harsh. These are people that pay their money to basically chant anything and just make noise and just want to get out of the house, right? You can turn they will yell, this is awesome. They did it 4 times last night. Trust me, there was not 4 awesome matches. There was some good wrestling. There was not awesome matches 4 times last night. There wasn't. Awesome? But they just want to yell, this is awesome. They want to pop really loud for Cody and yell, CM Punk. They pay their money to do that. This is that type of audience. A lot of casuals, a lot of families. When you have them silent, you're probably doing things wrong. Like The Undertaker back in the day would silence a crowd in a good way. They would pan to the crowd, jaws would be dropped, eyes wide. Whoa, this dude, like they were seeing a ghost. No, it's The Undertaker. Or when Yokozuna would literally annihilate humans and the paramedics are out there and people are like, whoa. But when people are just like, that's good. Is that the segment? What time is it? 9:22. Oh, another 40 minutes in the show. Is this on TV or are they in commercial, you think? Do I have time to get a soda? I don't know. They're just probably going to do another match, right? Yeah, all right. Who is it? Oh, it's Chelsea Green and Piper. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go get a soda. The crowd that's what I mean. You can say it's harsh all you want. I'm telling you exactly what's happening, the reactions, and what it does going forward. If the question is this the best that creative can do? Absolutely not. It's the opposite of the best. This is not how you do Io and Bayley. You know that, guys. You know that. Everybody knows that. So, this company could do a weird schmaz with Becky, Bayley. They could do a triple threat fatal 4-way for all we know. So odd, man. This is so odd what they're doing with Bayley. Drew McIntyre defeats Sami Zayn in the main event via pinfall off the Claymore. It's a Claymore party. I love the more heel Drew. I actually love the finish of this match. He was not concerned with a low blow. Sami went for a haluva kick, and Drew just kind of ducked down and put his hands up just in defense. He really didn't even go to nail him in the how you doings. But he inadvertently did by just ducking and protecting himself. But he's like, screw it. As long as it happened, I might as well keep going. And then he hits him with a Claymore instead of giving him a second to regroup, knowing that he hit him with a low blow. So as much as it was inadvertent, he still didn't give him a moment to get up. Instead, he hits him with a Claymore 1, 2, 3. That's the new heel Drew. I liked it. And then he made the referee lift his arm up when the referee was looking at him like, dude, I need to see if he's okay. And Drew's like, no, raise my arm. I love it. I don't love the fact that this was the end of the show. If this was more in the middle, or you can start the show with it, cool. The fact that they literally ended it with Drew celebrating and Michael Cole going, Drew with a big win, and that's Monday Night Raw. We'll see you next week, everybody. Not we are on the road to WrestleMania in an amplified, passionate way. Not with a cliffhanger that everyone's like, damn, this is getting fun. It's Mania season. I can feel it. Drew beat Sami in a rematch we've seen 98 times. And Michael Cole in the most monotone of voices. And that's Monday Night Raw. See you next week, everybody. Like we're in the middle of the summer. 2 months away from SummerSlam even. Again, you know, I always say, yeah, my standards are high. There's no question. You know, people go, BC, they're too high, man. Bring them down a little bit. You know, I'll meet you sometimes, right? I'll meet you down there. I'll bring the standard down a little bit. There comes a time where I have to ask, you guys got to raise them. You got to raise them, man. This is not good. This was not a good post show at all. At all. The decisions that are being made, this is bigger than just people are getting injured and they have to call audibles, BC. You still have to do fun, entertaining, creative shit. You can't just curl up in a ball and fucking duck into a corner until WrestleMania's over with. I am baffled by what they're doing with Cody. I am baffled at what they're doing with Bayley, both Rumble winners, by the way. I'm baffled with a lot of things they're doing. And through it all, by the way, don't forget, there's a Money in the Bank briefcase holder, Damian Priest, you probably forgot about. Doesn't even feel like he's got... Who is he cashing in on? It ain't gonna be Roman. Ain't gonna be The Rock if he was to win it. Ain't gonna be Cody if he was to win it. No matter which belt Cody wins or doesn't, it ain't gonna be Cody. That would be so stupid. Damian's cashing in on Cody the second he wins it. Who is he cashing in on? Seth? If Seth... Oh. And the problem is, you still have to get the crowd to care about Damien more. I like Damien. I think we all respect Damien. We want the best for Damien. He's in no position to cash that in successfully and for the audience to go, wow, Damien cashed in! Instant superstar. It's their job to build this dude up to a point where when he cashes in, we care at an ultimate level. He's teased it in the past. Go back and listen and watch those crowds. It's not like the old days when people would tease a cash-in, right? No, people are like, oh, Damien's out there with the case. Is he going to do it? Nobody care, right? It's like semi-interesting, right? Just to see if they actually do it. Oh, is he going to do it? Oh, he's got the... Nah, he's not going to do it, is it? Oh, the ref is about to. That's it. That's the most you're going to get. Build this dude. You only got a few months left before that's nullified and we do another Money in the Bank. That's coming up soon, guys. Senior Money in the Bank. This company has a lot to tidy up, man. It's Mania season, and whoa, have we went backwards. What's funny is around Survivor Series, we were all excited, right? It was feeling like WrestleMania season around Survivor Series, and then here we are after the Rumble when it really should be Mania season and feel that way. And it's the opposite. HHH. Man, he's got a lot of work to do because that dude is in rough shape. These shows are in rough shape. They got to pick it up. That company needs to drink their coffee. HHH. Levesque McMahon needs to down his coffee. Before I take off too, guys, I got to give a shout out to some super chat, super thankses. This is actually from the live stream, I believe. Let me see if I can pull them up on the big screen. This was on the live stream. A couple of super thankses from Clint Green saying thanks BC for the live stream. Clint Green, I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for stopping by, and I'm glad you were into the stream. It was well more than I expected. I wanted it to be within an hour and ended up going over an hour and a half, but we had a lot to talk about. So, Clint Green, thanks for stopping by, and I'm glad you appreciated the stream, man. I appreciate you big time. Thanks for the coffee. And also, B-Love. B-Love stopped by after we were live with a 10-spot, couple of coffees, actually. And B-Love said, BC, what up? And the old school, he's got all the coffee, the electricity, and the bicep emojis, man. So let's say Cody does finish his damn story. How do we book Cody after Mania? How do we stay invested in Cody? What feuds would you like? All we're going to hear from him is, I finished my story. Salute, BC. That's the thing. We can't even go there, B-Love, because the company doesn't know. They don't even know what they're doing for Mania with Cody. And I truly feel with or without Punk getting injured or not, they just didn't know what they're doing. And this is bigger than just waiting to see what The Rock wants to do. It's all The Rock's fault. No, this is the company never having a plan for Cody when he laid down next to that rubber chicken last year and didn't win the title. This was them not really having a definitive plan, period. So then when other better scenarios pop up a year later, now they're really lost. So B-Love, yeah, he can go around saying, I finished my story if he hoists up Seth Rollins' title, but guess what? It's a totally different story, bro. Just is. I'm fine with it. I'd rather have, at this point, Seth and Cody Part 4. Save Roman for something that's going to interest a lot of us fans even more than Part 2 of Cody Roman. Not needed. So I'd rather see that. And he could say, I finished a story, but not the story. He finished a story. As far as plans afterwards, B-Love, that's the company's issue. And a lot of fans think they have all these plans going. It's long-term storytelling with Triple H, right? It's what he did in Black and Gold. Well, where is it? Where is it? Because I'm seeing a lot of short-term projects, right? Xia Li gets 2 big victories. You think she's getting a push. And then she gets 2 quick losses, and she's off TV. They pump up Bronson Reed and 2 back-to-back weeks of promos. Takes a loss. Don't be surprised if Bronson's off TV or just completely in a bigger pile of irrelevancy. Creed brothers, they get pumped up for a full month of victories, beating everybody. And they're gone ever since. Promos, vignettes for Isla and Alba Fire. Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, right? All these promos are a big deal. They lose their first match back on TV. They're gone. I see a lot of short-term no gain in WWE, a lot more than ever before lately. Also, Clint Green on the upload from yesterday with a BC thanks, super chat as well. So Clint Green, I caught that one on the upload as well. Appreciate the double dose of coffee, brah. For sure. And if I missed anybody, I will get them guys again as of this recording. That's the only ones popping up now. The full list usually comes out within about, I would say 10 to 15 hours. So I appreciate it, guys. This was a long review. There was a lot to say. There was a couple coffees that BC wanted to have while talking about it. So that's what we did. So until next time, and there will be that next time. Top guys, we are out. BC saying check you. It is WrestleMania season. All I'm asking for, and I know I speak for most of us, we just hope that it starts to feel that way more. You know what I mean? Start getting your ducks in a row. The injuries is one thing. What we saw last night is way more than just a couple of injuries, man. This is not the way to get people excited for any match, man. We went from 3 or 4 possible really great matches to now we don't even know what they're doing. And sadly, they don't know what they're doing. That's where I'm going to leave it. Till next time. There will be that next time. Top guys, we're out. BC saying check you. Peace. Long.